All right, five, four, three, two, one. Welcome to the Daniel Artest podcast, and today we're going to recap the games from yesterday. Actually, really good games, man. You know, we had Dallas evening up the series. We had Boston beating Philly again and go up 2-0, and Utah tied their series with the win over Denver, and then the Raptors go up 2-0 versus the Nets. We're also going to talk about today's games a little bit and the NBA draft lottery. Right now, I have Nithin Ramachandra on the podcast. Yes, I'm saying his name correct. Welcome to the show, Nith. How you doing, man?
Thank you again for having me. It's an honor to be on your show multiple times, and you do a great job as always. You work hard, this guy, you got to follow this guy, Daniel Artest. He has some really good podcast interviewers and post-game reactions for these games. So keep up the good work, man, and thank you again.
Yeah, thank you very much. And then for everybody that's, that's following me, you already know y'all can follow me on Daniel Artest Pod on Instagram and Twitter. And I got the Facebook group, the Daniel Artest Podcast. All you got to do is search that. And on my website as well, www.danielartestpodcast.com. So let's get right into it. Like I said, Dallas evens up the series. They beat the Clippers yesterday, 127-114. Luka Doncic once again. He had a great game, really a great first half. He had 28 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists. Played only 28 minutes because in the second half he was limited to 9 minutes, Nathan, due to foul trouble, man.
Yeah, so I said yesterday that in order for the Mavericks to stay in the series, they needed a game two, which they got game two. And Luka Doncic, man, played well. The whole team played well. They bounced back and they played what a good team effort win. But Luka Doncic, he stepped up, and obviously for them to win the series, they need Luka to play basketball all throughout the series, and also KP, Porzingis, and the rest of the team. But that was a big win for them, and now the series gets more interesting now. So.
Yeah, I agree, man. But what I liked about Luka yesterday, like how patient he was. He was really patient. He had 11 turnovers in game one. But yesterday, he only had one turnover yesterday in game two. He looked like he was trusting his teammates more. He really responded to the first game jitters of, his first time in the playoffs or whatever. And he responded to that well. And also, he also set a new record, beating out Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's record for the most points in the first two games in their playoffs debut. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had 69 points, and then Luka Doncic passed him with 70. So Luka Doncic just an amazing player.
Yeah, Luka. Speaking to be honest, Luka, I obviously back when he was in Europe, I didn't know about him, but I watched tape on him before he got drafted, and the way European players are more advanced, in my opinion, because they play a different style of basketball and they're ready for the NBA. So I feel like he was already born ready to be in the NBA, and seeing him now, he's a fantastic player.
Yeah, man, and I want to move on to Kristaps Porzingis, man. 23 points and 7 rebounds. He really responded well after that ejection in game one, and he was also questionable for game two because he had that knee soreness. And he played, but he played and he played well, and he had some big 3-pointers, some long range 3-pointers. That I like that KP and Luka Doncic combo, man, because they play well together, especially on pick and rolls and pick and pop plays. And Kristaps Porzingis, his shooting ability allows Luka driving lane so he can do what he does, whether it's creating offense by himself or finding the shooters, which he was doing when the Clippers was actually over defending on the 3-point line yesterday. Luka was able to get to the basket, or he was able to find his shooters and find the rollers, man, on easy baskets, man. His feel of the game is elite, Nithin.
Yeah, for sure. Porzingis, what a bounce back game after the ejection you just said. Yeah, but he needs to. They meshed together well, and I knew for a fact that when Porzingis got to Dallas, he has his buddy Luka there, and he can learn from Dirk, the great Maverick. So that team fits him well, and he needs to build up, make a better post game. But in my opinion, but all in all, what an improved player. But great game yesterday too.
Yeah, I agree, man. Like I love how much better Porzingis got, and I know the Knicks right now are just like, man, like if only they would. Even Tim Hardaway Jr. he got better too.
Yeah.
You know, I really enjoyed the game yesterday, man. But for the Clippers, you know, they blew a chance to go up 2-0 in this series. But hold on, wait, I'm sorry. But I meant 1-1 because we know those referees cost Dallas game one. We already know. But game two, I'm gonna put the blame on Paul George of the Clippers. You know what I'm saying? And playoff P is now pandemic P. I'm gonna call him that right now because he was not good at all.
Right.
So he had 14 points and 10 rebounds, but he shot 4 for 17, bro. 2 for 10 from the 3-point line. He got to be better because Kawhi answered the bell. You know, 35 and 10 for Kawhi Leonard, but you know, Paul George left Kawhi to face Dallas by himself, basically.
Did you see Kawhi's reactions on the sideline when Paul George was on the court? They came out with some reactions and they posted on Twitter from Kawhi Leonard's look on his face, and he was I can tell that he was not happy, and but yeah, Paul George needs to step it up because I feel like right now, in my opinion, I would say that Luka Doncic and KP is a better combo in the series right now. Because Kawhi alone, I mean, I'm obviously the Clippers have a good bench, but Kawhi needs Paul George to step up, and there's a reason why Kawhi wanted to play with Paul George for this moment. And I feel like Paul George definitely needs to step up, but right now the best combo in the series is KP and Luka.
That's I think I might have to agree with you on that, you know. And also the Clippers do miss Patrick Beverly too as well. You know, Patrick is a disruptor on defense, you know. And he was part of that when Luka had those 11 turnovers. He was a part of that. So they kind of missed him too, you know. But yeah, you're right though. Moving to KP and Luka, they are the best you know, duo in this series right now so far. Paul George has to step up.
Yeah, and I'm hoping Paul George has. He's a great player, but he needs to create his own shot, like what he did in Indiana and OKC with Melo and Westbrook. But I'm hoping this would be an interesting series now since the tie 1-1, and now it can go anywhere at this point. So
yeah, I agree, man. I agree. It's gonna be a big game. Game 3 is gonna be a big game for both teams. You know, it's going to be a real big game. But I won't say if Dallas wins, they got control of the series. They'll have the lead, but you know, you can't count the Clippers out.
Yeah.
Because if Kawhi and PG on the game, they're really tough to beat and stuff. You know. Mm-hmm. But yeah, moving on. Let's move on to the next game. Boston beat Philly by 27, 128 to 1-1 to go up 2-0 in their series. Nathan, listen, this series is over, man. This series.
Yeah. I agree with you there. The Sixers are not showing up. They seem I don't know. They for some reason they're not playing it like a team. And Joel Embiid, there was another picture on social media on him with his head down, and I think this at this point I can say consider a sweep. Or I think the Sixers can get one game in here, but I would say sweep at this point.
Yeah, I agree, man. Listen, they gave up as soon as the game was started. You know, they just didn't have it. This is what happens when you don't have a point guard in the NBA. You know, like I'm always drill it home whenever I do these shows. When I'm talking about Philadelphia, they need a point guard to compete. You know, like Ben Simmons is missed. You know, but let's move on to Jason Tatum, man. He's really good. He's on the elite status ladder right now to me. 33 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. He shot 12 for 20. 8 for 12 from 3. Like over this past season, he really grown on me, man. Like he's a really special talent, man. A 3-level scorer, man. And you know, he puts the ball on the floor way better now. You know, I'm calling him a 15-time All-Star. I'm calling it right now. When
15-time All-Star, wow.
Jason Tatum will be a 15-time All-Star, man.
Wow, that's a hot take right there. Man, yeah, Jason Tatum is a star in my opinion, and the Celtics. This team is dangerous. This actually, you know what? With Gordon Hayward out, I mean, obviously, I think he will come back if they move on to the next round. But with this team can potentially contend for the championship too. This is a sleeper team right here, Celtics. They're loaded, deep, and they have everything on that team that you want.
Yeah, I agree. And when they all playing good, they're hard to beat. And speaking of playing good, Kemba Walker yesterday had a great game too. Scoring on 22 points, and he was making Philadelphia pay from the mid range when Embiid wasn't stepping up on defense. Like Philly defense was horrible yesterday, man. They got to do better. Also, hey, Jaylen Brown played well too, 22 points and 5 rebounds. And listen, Boston, like I said, they're gonna sweep these dudes, man. I feel like it's over, man. I really thought this was going to be a competitive series too, because Philly did play well when Ben Simmons wasn't in the games.
Yeah.
Embiid was dominant and everything, and I don't know what's going on, man. But I got one question though: where is Tobias Harris?
Yeah,
He need to figure it out what he want to do. 13 points and 14 of 15 shooting. Like, he has to be better. Tobias did what PG did to Kawhi yesterday, man. Just left Embiid on the island by himself.
Yeah. Tobias Harris, speaking of, first of all, these contracts that the Sixers gave out to Al Horford and Tobias Harris, they're going to regret it at the long run, at the end of the day. And Tobias Harris needs to step up. Al Horford especially needs to step up with that big money. So, I don't know. And Brett Brown is in the hot seat, in my opinion, after this series.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. I think that I think Brett Brown definitely gonna be on that hot seat. I think the seat is definitely steaming right now for him. I don't know what they're gonna do at the end of the season, man. But I feel bad for Embiid. He played well, 34, 10, and 3, man. But you could tell at certain points he wasn't engaged at all, man. And listen, I understand that, man. They missed their second best player in Ben Simmons, and to those out there always talking about Ben Simmons, oh, he won't shoot, he can't shoot, all he does is this, all he does is that. He's just a one-dimensional player. Listen, Ben Simmons is a player that you need on the court. He makes the life easier for Philly, man. Like, I like their guards, I like who they have at their guards, but Shake Milton is not a point guard. He's not a point guard. And also, I got another question. Where is Al Horford?
Yeah.
Like, these past 2 games in the playoff bubble, he's been bad. Like, I think him and Tobias Harris, they need to go to like one of those little lunches over there in the bubble, go sit down somewhere and do some soul searching. Find somebody that reads tarot cards and hopefully could help them, fix whatever is going on in their heads, man. And also Philadelphia as a team needs to make defensive changes, because that drop down defense they're doing is working. So the drop down defense is when you're running a pick and roll, right? And the big man if you're running a pick and roll with like Kemba Walker or somebody, and Embiid don't step up, Embiid just stays back in the paint. That's the drop down defense, And when you do that, Kemba Walker just comes off a pick and roll and shoots the jump shot. That's like shoot around for him.
Mm-hmm.
So Philly got to figure it out. Like, what's going on with the in game adjustments? Like, like these are NBA coaches. They make millions of dollars. They are there for a reason. But the in game adjustments is horrible for Philadelphia.
Yeah, so they need to switch. They need to come up with a new game plan quickly for Game 3, Game 4. But at this point, I think too late now. Celtics, they're on fire, and I think I can see Sixers get 1 game in, but I agree with you with the sweep. But I have a question for you. Do you see the Sixers need a legitimate point guard, starting point guard? Do you see them trading Embiid for a point guard?
If anything they wanted to trade, if they want to trade for a point guard, they don't have to, probably trade Ben Simmons or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe go find one on the free agent market. I know there's going to be a couple up there, If they even had a player like Ish Smith, somebody like that can distribute the ball and things, because like what they got right now ain't cutting it. I would even say play Raul Neto more. He's a pure point guard. Let somebody that can get them in the offense, that can get Embiid that ball. Like, they have no answer for Joel Embiid.
No,
that's the issue. They don't have no answer for Joel Embiid. But how can you get the ball? You ain't got guards that can get him the ball.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens there.
Yeah, man, it's definitely gonna be interesting. We'll see though, man. But moving on. The Utah Jazz ties the series 1-1 with a big win over Denver, 124-105. Donovan Mitchell followed up his 57-point historic game. He had 30 points and 8 assists. I like how he played. He really got his team involved, man. The Donovan Mitchell, I like how he adjusted his game. Like, he trusts his teammates more.
Yeah, this is a big team win for them, especially against Denver, a high-caliber team. But This is another series is gonna be interesting now, like the Clippers and a Mavericks series. So, and Donovan Mitchell got his teammates involved, which is big. So, anything can happen in this series too. But I got the Nuggets in 6 right now.
Okay, I hear that. You know, hey, that's a good take, man. But big shout outs to Jordan Clarkson
Yeah.
coming off the bench, man. Jordan Clarkson, 26 points. They didn't have an answer for him when he was in the game. You know.
Yeah, so yeah, Jordan Clarkson played well. This guy is an underrated player, underrated shooter. He doesn't get enough recognition. Obviously, coming from played in Cleveland too, but this guy is a stud. So to have a player like that coming off the bench, that's a weapon right there.
Yeah, I feel like Utah could beat Denver if Jordan Clarkson, if he shoots this well coming off the bench, because they ain't got nobody that can guard him. I think that might be the X factor in getting Utah past Denver in this series, man. You know, also who else played well? Rudy Gobert, 19 and 7. Yeah. Joe Ingles, 18 points to play well, and on the Denver side, Nikola Jokic and Michael Porter Jr. They both had 28 points. Jokic also added 11 rebounds and 6 assists, and Michael Porter Jr. also went 6 of 9 from 3. Man, listen. I love Denver's future, man. I really do. Like Michael Porter Jr., man, like how he just came on, you know, after averaging 7 points and 4 rebounds a game before COVID hit, he goes into the bubble and averaged almost 23 points a game and 7 rebounds. Like, you know, he really stepped it up.
Yeah. This team loaded for the future. Jokic, especially the best center in the league right now, and Michael Porter Jr. establishing himself in the league. So this guy is going to be a star also, and watch out for the Nuggets. But I feel like I think they can win the series in 6. I think.
That's tough. But you know they're gonna need Jamal Murray, man. Jamal Murray came back to earth yesterday. You know, he only scored 14 points, but he took 13 shots to get there. You know, but when Murray plays good, you know, Denver wins the game. You seen what he did in Game 1 when he took over, right? You know, and he has to stay ready and locked in. And I want to give a big shout out to the Utah Jazz 3-point defense because they only held Murray. He only took 2 threes. And it wasn't like he didn't want to shoot the threes. He couldn't because the way Utah was defending him on the 3-point line.
Yeah, I think that was a great adjustment from them from Game 1. And this series is going to get interesting. But I still have Nuggets, but the Jazz can easily win the series too. But it's gonna be up to, like you said, Jordan Clarkson and the rest of the players on the bench on Utah.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. And moving on to the last game, we had Brooklyn versus Toronto. Brooklyn.
That's gonna be that we should not even go there because I think that's gonna be a sweep.
Really? Listen,
yeah.
Man. I don't know, man. Listen.
They lost Joe Harris yesterday.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they did. But the Raptors beat them. The Raptors beat them. Beat the Nets 104-99 and stuff. But Brooklyn had this game. It was hard. Yeah. They just don't have the firepower to close it out. You know, they don't have the firepower to close it out at all.
Next year they're gonna be a force to reckon, obviously, with KD coming back and Kyrie. But this team right now, it's I. By the way, great job by Jack Vaughn. Hell of a coaching. I mean, to be able to have this team, especially with the long layoff and work to be able to get into the playoffs, that's even a great season for them, especially with these injuries. So kudos to him. But I think you expect Brooklyn to go for a new head coach next year. So, but I just want to give a big shout out to Jack Vaughn for keeping this team upbeat, even though they're down 2-0. But I can see them steal one game in the series.
Yeah. But they almost stole it yesterday. That might actually hurt them. And the Nets, they you know what I mean, for the loss, they played okay. You know, they had 6 guys in double figures. Garrett Temple had 21. Caris LeVert had 16 points and 11 assists, but he struggled. He shot 5 for 22. He got to fix that, man. You know, and Jared Allen and Joe Harris both had 14 points and 15 rebounds each. You know, and yeah, man, Joe Harris left the bubble. And he probably won't return for the rest of the series. This season might be done. Don't know why. Don't know what's going on. It's not a medical issue or anything. But, you know, like you said, man, the Nets, they need their stars for next season, man. And I feel like they're on to something. You know, they play hard. They just need the talent out there, and I still see them winning the East with the healthy, engaged Kyrie and Kevin Durant and stuff.
And I can see them getting Bradley Beal too.
Ooh, that would be tough. That would be tough. Get Bradley Beal, and that's a big three right there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yo, listen, I want to talk about the Raptors because they
Yeah.
won this game late after Nick Nurse. We was talking about coaches making adjustments. Nick Nurse is the king of that right now. The Raptors was able to play bad and still win this game. They went small yesterday, and the reason why they won this game, like I said, was adjustments, man. They went with Siakam at center. And Coach Nurse really, honestly, in my opinion, he just went with his best five that was playing the best. And this is why I love Coach Nurse because he coaches off a feel of the game. He don't worry about seniority, who has a status or whatever like that. He goes with the best players that's playing the best. And he counteracted the Nets defensive scheme. The Nets wanted to switch everything, and he counteracted that by going small. Big shout out to Fred VanVleet, another double-double with 24 points and 10 assists. He's getting a max deal, or he's getting something close to a max deal the way he's playing, man. And, Norm Powell came off the bench as well, 24 points, man. He's also important to this title run if Toronto want to repeat. Powell has to come off the bench and keep playing well. Shout outs to Kyle Lowry at 21 points and 9 rebounds. And, Pascal Siakam still finding his game. He had 19 points and 6 rebounds yesterday. But the key to this win yesterday was coaching. In-game adjustments, and Nick Nurse is the best at it. And shout outs to Nick Nurse for making his in-game adjustments and getting Toronto this win.
So the one thing I like about Toronto Raptors right now, they have every player on that team is greedy, tough, and they're all about defense too. And Nick Nurse, man, what a hell of a coach he is already. It's year two, especially winning the championship in year one, and this coach, he's a hell of a coach already. But they have greediness players, and actually, speaking of Norman Powell, I had his former coach on yesterday, David Grace, on my show yesterday, and he said that this guy, he saw from the beginning, right from the beginning, he saw Norman Powell being a great player in the future in the NBA, and he's turned out to be a great scorer, a great defender, obviously, and man, this team is deep. Even without Kawhi Leonard, they're still deep, and I think they can make a run here and beat the Bucks potentially, whoever they play in the East. I think they can reach the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah. I mean, no, I got Toronto getting out the East. I got them versus the Lakers in the finals, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, man, because the way they play, you see what they do. You know what I mean? I feel like they're gonna stop Giannis. That's what I feel about the Raptors right now. I have a great feeling about them and stuff, man. But before we get out of here, man, we're gonna talk about today's games. Just basically 2 games. I got one question about that. Will the Lakers and the Bucks bounce back? They both took some losses in their game one. The Bucks lost to Orlando. I don't know how they lost to Orlando. I will blame that on Giannis too. Yep, Giannis had 31.17 rebounds and 7 assists in game one, but he only took 1 shot in the fourth quarter. He can't be doing that. No, I'm sorry. He scored 1 point in the fourth quarter. He can't be doing that. So he got to, if LeBron did that, the world would be on top of LeBron's head right now. You know what I'm saying? And then with the Lakers, they lost game one to Portland, 100 to 93. The Lakers situation is really just offense. It's not defense because, Portland could score 120. They were scoring 120 routinely, but the Lakers held them to 100 points. The Lakers also, they had more shots than Portland had points. They took 94 shots. Portland took 79 shots, right? Portland shot 13 for 34 from 3. The Lakers shot 5 for 32. The Lakers also missed 11 free throws. The Lakers lost by 7 points. It's all offense. LeBron can't shoot 9 for 20. Anthony Davis cannot shoot 8 for 24. Danny Green got to make open shots, And so what you think about tonight's game with the Lakers and Bucks? Will he bounce back?
I see the Bucks bouncing back against the Magic, and I was so shocked when that happened when they lost to the Magic. But I expect the Bucks to play hard this tonight and tie the series at 1-1. But with the Lakers and Blazers, I see the Blazers going up 2-0 tonight against the Lakers. The Blazers are the hottest team in the bubble right now. No one can stop Damian Lillard. And Melo's playing great ball. Terry Stotts has them upbeat, and the bench is deep. I really like their center, Nurkic. Nurkic. So I think they're going to go up 2-0, but I expect the Bucks to bounce back tonight.
That's a tough take, saying that the Lakers are going to go down today, man. Yeah, the Blazers are the hottest team in the bubble. Dame Lillard is the best player in the NBA right now. As we do this podcast, he is the best player in the NBA. He's the most hottest player in the NBA right now. You can't guard him. You know what I mean? If you try to, sag off him, he's going to shoot, and he's shooting from anywhere on the court. He's dangerous, man. Dame Lillard is so dangerous right now, and the Lakers going to have to really just, step up, man, or else there will be in a 2-0 hole. You don't want that, But before we get out of here, I want to talk about the NBA draft lottery. Everybody's have their heights on this lottery. They're talking about the top 3 picks. Anthony Edwards, LaMelo Ball, and James Wiseman. But
Cole Anthony too.
Yeah, Cole Anthony, but Cole Anthony's not top 3. I don't think he'll be a top 3. But this draft might not go as planned. Actually, some players might not be top picks, like LaMelo Ball might not be a top pick. James Wiseman, they have him now projected to go in the late lottery. Late lottery is not even top 10. You know, I don't know what's going on. Some dude from Israel, some player, 19-year-old kid from Israel named Denny Avidaja, might be the first pick now. He's 19. I looked at his highlights and stuff. He's pretty good. He's 19, about 6'9". Could play 3 positions and stuff. He's really good. And but the issue with LaMelo Ball and James Wiseman is that they're saying like they don't fit into what the teams are wanting to do. You know what I mean? I'm thinking like, wow, I thought Melo Ball was going number 1. He looked like he was the best prospect. If it wasn't him, I would thought that Anthony Edwards was like the next best thing. You know what I mean? Anthony Edwards out 6'5", 230-pound point guard, shooting guard, score like James Harden. Could shoot as well. So, I mean, this might be a different type of NBA draft when it happens.
Yeah, I mean, we got to figure out when they're going to have the draft first. It might not be the same exact time or day. I mean, same whatever, June. But I think whoever gets a first round pick will select Anthony Edwards. I think this guy is a stud coming out of Georgia. This guy can shoot the ball, defend. And I don't really know too much about the other prospects, but I know about Cole Anthony, obviously from Carolina, and I know about LaMelo Ball, and I know Wiseman from Kentucky. But
Memphis.
Memphis. But I think Anthony Edwards, I think he's the most polished prospect right now in this draft, and whoever gets him, will get a special player. So I think Golden State has a real opportunity to get the number 1 pick here. Yeah. Golden State they're going to be a Danish team next year with Steph Curry back, Klay Thompson, and I think this with Anthony Edwards in the mix, potentially for Golden State, that makes their team much better. And Ashley said yesterday, I think Giannis, she expects Giannis if he leaves Milwaukee, she thinks that he'll go to Golden State. But yeah, that's
we shall see, man. We shall see. But yeah, this draft is going to be unpredictable, and they're saying that it's going to be unpredictable like how it was in the 2015 draft when Anthony Bennett got drafted number 1, and then Giannis got drafted number 15 and stuff like that. But we shall see, man. We shall see. We shall see what's going on, man. But hey, man, thank you for coming on the show today, man. I really appreciate you.
Oh, thank you, Daniel. This has been an honor. I love talking sports with you and your podcast and the rest of the crew you work with, and keep up the awesome work. And I'm really looking forward to tonight's games, and then we should all do like a more of a recap for these playoffs, and it'll be awesome.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm Daniel Artest, and this is Nitin Ramachandra. Thank you for listening to the Daniel Artest podcast. And hey, let's see what's going to happen tonight. Good luck to the Lakers and Bucks. Y'all going to need it. And with that being said, I am out of here. Peace.
See you guys.